Hello! Today we will be ranking Eververse sets. We're going to start with the Hunter, just because I was doing some campaign stuff. And we're going to rank them out of 10. I want to clarify, and this is very important here. Ranking systems for me, 5 does mean average, 10 means perfect, and 1 means like actually the worst it could possibly be. So 5 being average, 6 is slightly above average, 7 is good. 7 is where good starts. 8 is above good, 9 is almost perfect, and 10 is perfect. On the contrary, 4 is slightly below average, 3 is where bad starts, 2 is almost garbage, and 1 is garbage. That is how I rate that. We are going to start from the most recent and go to the least recent, dare I say the eldest. I don't know how to say this word, but this bundle, I think, in general, we'll go through some pieces I think stand out in a set. Obviously, the helmet has a lot of value because it gets rid of the top of cloaks. This is gangster. The cloak is sick. The vest is okay. I think the legs stand out for me a lot. I do like these kind of slacks look. In terms of applying that to other sets, I don't think it has much value in terms of that. But like, there are some niche opportunities where this legs come really hype. So overall, I think I rate this bundle. I've said 6 before. I said 6 like 5 minutes ago, but I actually want to rate it a 7 now. I kind of want to bump that up. The Celestial Hunter bundle. I think as an overall set, I like what's happening here, but it's with the shader it gets presented with here. I feel like it's a little bit too much. The shine kind of takes a little bit away from me. I think everything about what's happening here is cool, but I wouldn't wear it as a full set. And then especially when you break the pieces down individually, I find a lot of this set hard to apply to a lot of other items in the game. These legs, these patterns stand out so much when applying just these pants to any other armor set. Same thing with, the chest piece obviously a little bit less, but I don't like the belt. I think the arms are okay. The shape is very easy to apply to a lot of other sets. The helmet I don't like, and the cloak is just super extra. I think if you can make this cloak work with any other set, that's kind of hype. And I think it's a cool cloak. But in terms of usability outside of putting the full set together, which is something you should consider when you're buying a set, is how can I use this to apply to other fashion outfits? Otherwise, you're just going to be wearing that one set. I rate this probably maybe a 6. It's just very slightly above average, just because the theme is cool. For the Forbidden Visage bundle, I think I rate this one a bit low. In terms of individual pieces, the only ones that I can imagine fit easily into shapes of other pieces would possibly be the arms. I think the arms create a very good flat space here that'll be helpful for a lot of cloaks that are wide, like wide-brimmed cloaks. I like the space that the arms create. I don't like this. I don't like the way that it pops out, and the MC Hammer pants are kind of weird. I don't like the helmet. The cloak is kind of cool. I've seen some people use this cloak very well, but I think a lot of this outfit plays into a lot of only niche other outfits, in my opinion. I rate this one probably a 4, just slightly below average. Intrepid Hunter bundle, I have been known to like low fantasy fashion, which is kind of where this whole ideology of mine in terms of fashion comes from. I like my outfits to be realistic. Realistic is a bit of a phrase. Realistic in terms of the Destiny universe, right? I want to believe that the character that I am making, you could believe is an in-game character walking around the tower. If I saw a lot of the outfits that people send me, for example, I was like, I don't believe it's a believable character, but at the same time, that's only me applying my ideology of fashion to your outfits. And that's not a very fair equivalent. So that's when I do these rating videos. I want to make sure that I am clarifying that this is just the way that I like to view fashion, and I don't want to downplay the way that you view fashion at all. Anyway, Intrepid Hunter bundle, I feel, takes a lot of that low fashion aesthetic and applies it to the Destiny universe well. Like, I love the layering on this chest piece is kind of nice. Like, this is this could be very universally used, this chest piece. Ignore this, I was doing campaign, I was taking screenshots. This chest piece is fucking hype. I love the layers on it. I love the way that shaders apply to it. It's great. I love the belt. I love the little bag here. The legs are very basic. I love the J's on his feet. I wish that they were a little bit higher quality, but I do get the idea. The arms are pretty basic, and I feel only really ever used on super streetwear fashion outfits. So I don't want to rate them very highly. I think the helmet comes with the brim, which I don't like all too much. I think everything else except for the brim is okay. I don't think this helmet kind of stands out to me. And the cape is very basic. I like, obviously, the hunter symbol is kind of dope. But actually, no, I do quite enjoy the way that it ruffles at the front. I do like that ruffle, but the height is a problem. You see, it kind of goes up a little bit too much. So I rate this one probably, all things considering, I think it's a lot that brings it up and a lot that brings it down. I'd rate it's like a 6, in my opinion. The Lux Hunter bundle is a absolute fan favorite. This outfit is pretty goated with the sauce. And individually, I think every piece can be used in a lot of different outfits. So this outfit presents a lot of different high fantasy and low fantasy options and combines it into a malleable outfit, right? So the arms, cyborg-esque, robot-esque, like Destiny-esque, right? Same thing with the helmet. It's simple, it's elegant, but it also has enough on it to be like, okay, this is believable in a video game. The legs are obviously fucking sick. I love these jeans. I don't think they're jeans, but I love the way they look. And the chest piece can be used in so many different ways, for like a tactical kind of outfit or like a chill kind of outfit, which applies to a lot of the hunter wardrobe. Like a lot of the hunter wardrobe. And the cloak is just fucking awesome. I think any cloak that allows you the option to see a full helmet I rate it a little bit higher just because of how rare they are. Some of them are kind of bad. Like the Days of Eternity cloak is kind of a bit funny looking, but I still want to give it a little bit more value just because it has this. And obviously, it looks fucking sick. This is probably a 9. A 10 is a perfect. I don't think it's perfect, but I think it's pretty fucking close. Like a 10 for me is very hard. It has to legitimately be an outfit I'm going to consider never taking off. That is how good it is. The Virulent Hunter bundle, I was talking about this one earlier. I think the only redeeming piece of this outfit is the cloak because of its creativity. But Viced being everywhere, I like the idea that, like, in my head, there's the story for this outfit being like, you're a hunter who got sponsored in the Crucible by Viced, right? You're a Viced sponsored Guardian athlete. And that's really cool. But it's each piece, like this chest piece, you have a lot of similar chest pieces for hunter that doesn't cost you real life money. The legs don't stand out to me as very great. Like, I don't think they're the worst. I think these are average legs. The Viced kind of takes away from it a little bit when you take away from the rest of the Viced set. The arms create a very odd shape, and plus, again, the Viced logo there. I don't mind the shape that it creates on this shoulder. I do like the asymmetry, but I can't imagine it being used in a lot of other outfits. I think the helmet's kind of cool. I do like that kind of look. This is probably one of my favorites of this visor type of helmets. And the cloak is creative, but again, massive branding. I think if you were to just apply this and create like a sponsored athlete Guardian outfit, this is fucking dope. But as an overall outfit, I rate it pretty low. I rate it like maybe a 5, maybe a 4 even. A lot of those pieces I wouldn't use in anything else. Empyrean Hunter. So this set creates... this set is obviously very high fantasy. It's very high fantasy. And surprisingly, I fuck with it a lot. I have been traditionally clowned on for not liking high fantasy in Destiny because it's a fucking fantasy, futuristic shooter game where there is space wizards and space bodybuilders and space parkourers running around beating the shit out of people. And I get that. But again, it's like someone walks around with any of these sets, I just don't find it believable. But this one, I kind of do. I believe this one a lot more. So individually, I think a lot of these pieces are really, really good. I think the strongest, obviously the cloak is super sick with this quiver. If anything, this set kind of presents more of a historical outfit for Destiny. Like, this is something that was used aeons ago, back when Guardians first came around, rather than something that would be used now. I can imagine this in like a Destiny museum in-game somewhere. I think the colors are really great, like when you apply shaders and the different colors that these LEDs glow. I think the chest piece is sick with the leather straps. Anything with leather that is used as layering, I generally rate very highly, just because it adds a little bit of easy complexity to an outfit. The legs, I think, are one of the weaker points, but when paired with this, like, it doesn't even directly correlate, like the chest and the legs, but it does have a thick belt, which kind of allows you to cancel out the bottom of a chest and the top of legs. I don't mind the legs. I don't think they're my favorite part of the set, but I have used them a lot previously for hunter outfits. The arms are obviously sick. Like, I love the asymmetry here because the shape that this side is creating is a little bit more horizontal and not very vertical, so it feels a lot more natural. When it's asymmetrical and one side is more vertical, it creates a very weird space where these arms don't. These arms create great space because it's not that much extra, and it's very much in theme for the rest of the outfit, right? This person's an archer. They use a bow. Like, this is obviously their... I've seen like photos of people that have armor on one arm, I think, to like defend themselves. I have no fucking idea. But like, it's in theme. This asymmetry is in theme, and that's dope. That's really fucking cool. And the helmet, I don't mind. The chin is probably the weakest part, but I ultimately think this is an okay piece. I think it's a fantastic piece. So Empyrean Hunter, I rate probably close to a 7 or an 8. I would say I'm happy to settle on an 8, just because it's one of the high fantasy fashion outfits that I feel is good. A lot of high fantasy in games like this can feel like super blown out of proportion and just looks funny. It looks like modern art. Whereas Empyrean Hunter, I feel like it chooses a low fantasy theme, applies it to high fantasy, and makes a great middle ground. So I rate it probably an 8. Neotiric Coyote Hunter Bundle. So I don't own this, but I kind of want to. I think a lot of this set is fucking sick, right? On first look, I didn't think that was the case, but on like third and fourth looks, I really do like a lot about this piece. So the chest piece with the knives here, sick. Wolf here, sick. It's a very basic chest piece that can be used to a lot of different sets. I rate that highly. If it can be used in multiple sets, I rate it highly, automatically. The helmet stands out to me as like I suppose an aviator type helmet is the only way to explain it, like from Halo 3, I think. I'll have an example on screen somewhere. I don't mind it. It doesn't stand out to me as a fantastic helmet, but I don't mind it. I would rate it like a 6 just in terms of helmet alone. The arms are very unique. I do like the asymmetry. The knives are obviously very cool, and it creates a good shape, right? So this, I don't mind this. And this is very usable in a lot of different sets as well. I don't really know how to explain this fashion here, but I do enjoy it a lot. The legs, I think they match very well with the chest piece. I like that it's not very padded here, but down here becomes a bit more padded, and it doesn't look bulky down here by any means. More knives down there as well. I don't mind the pants. I think they can be used again in a lot of different sets, but like the absolute winner here, right? This fucking cloak. Wow. It is just sick. It is so cool. Like the shape down here, like there's a lot of tattered cloaks in like the green and blue category in fashion, like the old, like the rares and stuff, that don't do tear very well, but my god, this is just so cool. It feels like this tear adds part to the story, you know. Obviously the wolf is very sick. It's like, oh my god, the way the fur looks, the way that this coils over here, the height is perfect. Like this is a perfect cloak. That is a perfect cloak. I rate the set probably like a 7. I think the cloak brings it up a couple notches, but it's probably a 7 in my opinion. The Vanguard Dare Hunter Bundle has a lot going on at first glance. There's a lot of different, like, kind of cluttered layers happening. Off the bat, I don't like the shape that this shoulder pad creates, but I do like the shoulder. This arm is cool. This arm is great. This arm isn't. This arm feels nude in comparison to this arm, and I understand asymmetry. I do. But I personally do not like it very much, but I still think it's probably above average. I'm just drawing out criticisms for the sake of drawing out criticisms because that's a tier list video. The chest piece, I think you find a lot of similar chest pieces for hunters, just with a little bit less details, but I really do enjoy the straps up here, and the coloring of the straps here is kind of dope. The legs, I like the tactical pouches. There's a lot happening here. There's a lot. But at the same time, as an individual piece, I think it has a lot of value because you can use that in a lot of different things. The helmet is very Stormtrooper-esque in shape, like New Order. That's the first thing that comes to mind. Or it feels Star Wars-esque. This outfit is very Star Wars-esque. This is, I think, one of the better shaped visor helmets. I love the way that the layering down here looks. It's very cool. And ultimately, the cloak, I don't like how narrow it is. I love the extra layers here. I love the cape look almost. I think the cloak itself is okay. I don't mind this, but it doesn't stand out to me as a great option. And I like this. I like that. Little tear at the bottom. This feels like a Star Wars bounty hunter set. I think is the best way to put it. Dragonfly Regalia Hunter. So this outfit... It's a toughie. It's a toughie. I see they're definitely going for something that I don't think I understand. I don't like the ball sack here. I don't think the testes were a good option. I don't like the shape the arms present. I've been hard on like this kind of horizontal shaping. I just don't like it. I think it creates a lot of empty space up here. And the wide hood obviously substitutes a lot of that space, but like ultimately, I think the upper chest needs to be bigger, which is something they've also tried to go for, but I just don't like the space created. The legs, this whole set feels weird to me. It feels like I'm looking at like some sort of super nobody from Kingdom Hearts. This feels like a Kingdom Hearts character. This is like a 3. It's like a 3 for me. I wouldn't say it's hot garbage. What they're going for is at least a consistent theme. It's just not one that I like. So it's probably a 3. Tiao's Hunter Bundle. I love what's going on here, right? So I don't like visually, this doesn't appeal to me very much, but like the idea of it being it was the first people to go to the moon, right? In this universe. It was the Golden Age Hunter. I think they're all named after a different pilot, right? I believe. Someone lore check me on that. But I love a lot of these pieces. Like I use these arms quite regularly. I think the shape it creates, obviously I love symmetrical plate themed things. No, you're right. It does. This looks like this looks like those like puffer jackets that people who stab you in the UK wear. You know what I mean? Like, and obviously it's built in the Golden Age, but that is where I find appreciation for this set, because it has such a strong theme in lore that, again, this is like a historical set almost. And I like that a lot. I have the arms, helmet, cloak, and legs for this, because I played during year 1, but it's like, I never use this helmet. I don't like the shape of it, but I like the respiratory system here. I never use this because this is dangerous. You don't wear this. Like, you get affiliated with the wrong people if you wear this. The arms, I think, are actually probably the best part of the set. I don't think I've ever used the legs with the exception of one of my posts. But I think the chest piece is good as well. I think if you wanted to create an astronaut-type character, like, that chest piece is nice. It's also like a good all-around piece. I think Tiao's Hunter Bundle, I want to say probably maybe a 5, maybe a 6, based purely on like strong theming alone. So the Omega Mechanos Hunter, we'll go with the strongest part of the set at the end. All right, so let's go piece by piece here. There's a lot to unpack here. The year 1 sets have a lot to unpack. I don't think this pose does it justice, but the arms are actually kind of cool. I like the shape that they create. It's a very unique shape while also being simple enough to apply that shape to a lot of different fashion, sets. I kind of like it a lot. The chest piece is very basic. I feel like we have a lot of different different pieces to this. So if you don't want to pay money for that, I feel like that's completely justified. Also, what is that clipping? Wow, that's bad. The helmet, I think, is one of the weakest parts of the set. I do not like this type of visor helmet personally. I've had it's like the tack kind of gear. I'm not the biggest fan of, and I think this one's a bit too simple. I think if you're going to go for that kind of visor look, it has to be a little bit more intricate. The legs, I have a love-hate relationship with these legs because I've used them a lot. I like the idea of like having one padded leg or like one geared up leg. That's kind of hype, but it kind of creates a bit of a misbalance with a lot of like this midsection here. If you don't have an equally sized like upper midsection or shoulders, it just creates a really weird imbalance, which some people really like and some people don't like, and that's completely up to you. And finally, Omega Mechanos Cloak, goated. This thing is goated. So when I first came back to the game, before I started really like trying to get into the fashion of the game, I hated this cloak. I thought this looked stupid because all I wanted was like a hoodless version of this cloak, because like the way that it like just sits here, perfect, and the way that it floats, so effortlessly. The swap from like the color to the gold trim, it's just so good. This cloak is so good. It's very, very nice. And at first it took me a while to get used to the hood, but now I'm used to it and I think it's sick. I love this cloak. This cloak makes the set better than it really is. I rate Omega Mechanos probably 7. I'll say a 7. Purely on the cloak. If it wasn't a cloak, it's a 5. Finally, we have the Optimacy Hunter Bundle, the first Eververse sets to be released in year 1 during Red War. I only played my Warlock at the time, so I don't have this set. I was having a conversation with someone in chat earlier, and they said they use these arms all the time. Like, I understand, I couldn't put into words what they're trying to go for with this set. It's kind of like low-key, like future fashion, like sleek, casual future fashion, I think is the best way to put it. Piece by piece, I don't mind the arms. I think the arms are probably one of the strongest parts of it. Just because I couldn't really put it into words. There's a lot of things about this set that I can't put into words. Vest of Optimacy, I think, is kind of cool. I think it's a great standalone piece. The cloak, I don't like this massive circle shape here, but this downwards is cool. If you have a helmet like that gets rid of the hood, this is cool. I like the look of this a lot. Don't mind the clipping. Yeah, it's definitely like a smooth, low key regal feel. I wanted to go for regal, but I didn't know how to pronounce low key regal, but I suppose that's the best way to put it. The helmet, I think the shape of... I haven't seen it without a cloak before. I don't mind it. All these pieces, I don't mind individually. See, that's kind of the funny part. With the exception of the legs. I think these legs are okay. Like, they're mid. There's nothing bad about them. There's nothing great about them. But when you put it all together, I don't like it. So, I'm willing to rate this set probably close to a... I want to say a 5. I want to say it's mid. I thought it'd be a lot lower. I think, and I want to clarify this. I firmly believe I'm a hunter. Sorry, I'm a Titan main. Hunter's my second. Warlock used to be my main, but I swapped to Titan, so I didn't have to use as many brain cells. I firmly believe that hunters have the best Eververse sets. I think they're all really good. I think they're all very, like, as a collective, they're pretty good. They are, like, I don't play this class very often, but I own the Empyrean and the Lux. I think I'm going to end up buying Neoteric Coyote as well. And the Couturier. How to pronounce Couturier. Oh, it's French.
Couturier.
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 Faster, say it fast.
Couturier.
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 Couturier. The Couturier bundle, I think, is also like, it fits like a really, really hard niche. I think the Couturier bundle for Titan and Warlock is fucking ugly. I hate it. But this, the slacks, goated. The slacks are goated. The helmet, just because it takes off hoods, it has infinitely higher value than a lot of other helmets in the game. I don't even think it's that cool of a helmet, but just for the fact that it takes off cloaks, cool. And obviously this is just like, so fucking swag. It's just so fucking swag, man. It is just dumb swag. Swags. Like, sometimes I'll have some people, this is my favorite thing. This is my favorite thing to do. Some people, oh, here we go. Some people, I'll have like, there's this one guy who's consistent. What I will say is he's consistent. This one kid, and he's a child. He's legitimately a child. Who comments on all my reels. This says mid. Like, I can't believe you'd go through the effort of posting something so mid. Skull emoji, right? Like, it's the most copy-pasted, like, maggot brain TikTok comment ever. And so this guy comments mid on everything. And I checked out his Instagram profile. And holy fuck, man. It's just too funny. This kid is just like, this like 13-year-old on his Instagram stories. It's just like ripping billies, like just fucking smacking back a bong. And then his next Instagram story post just be him being like, I'm so fucking alone. It's like, oh, when she doesn't choose me, it's a black screen with his text with like 2 skull emojis. And then his next post on his story is him just smacking a Billy again. So, like, that's the quality of people who comment on my stuff that are like, they always have the same thing to say, and it never fails to get a laugh out of me. It's just so funny. There are some people who have like genuine criticisms, and that's completely cool. Most of the time it comes down to like what they value in fashion and what I value in fashion, and it just like not melding, which is exactly how fashion works. That is perfect. That's exactly what I'm asking for. Rankings, I think it goes Lux as a 9, the highest rated. Then the Neoteric Coyote as an 8. Empyrean Hunter as an 8. Intrepid Hunter is probably a 7. The Couturier is a 6, high 6. Omega Mechanos is a 6. Celestial Hunter is a low 6. Vanguard Dare is a high 5, solid 5 on the Golden Age Hunter set, just because of lore alone. Optimus is a solid 5 because every piece except for the legs are good standalone pieces, but the overall theme is kind of weak and varied. Forbidden Visage doesn't hit. I feel like it misses the mark pretty strongly, so it's a solid 4. Virulent Hunter, low 4, because it just like the sponsoring or the branding is cool, but not that cool. Like it's not that great, and it feels like a world drop set. And finally, Dragonfly Regalia is just overall a bad set. I don't like any of the pieces. It looks like a character out of Kingdom Hearts. So in terms of skewed, I would say on average, in my opinion, the Hunter Eververse tier sets are positively skewed. They are statistically positively skewed. They're good. On average, they're pretty good. I would say they did pretty well. That's the tier list. That is the tier list.